Hi, we're going to work on the signs for Silent Night. But before we do that, I want you to remember that your body needs to be divided in an imaginary grid. You've got a center line going down, an eye line, a shoulder line, a nipple line, a sternum line, and then shoulder width apart. And I will talk about those various lines and possibly some others as we go along. Now the first sign we're going to do is the sign we're using for silent. You start with your hands like this, make this shape. This is not where the sign starts. But your fingers are together, your thumbs are in, and your right hand, whether you're right or left-handed, we're going to sign everything right-handed, so I apologize to those of you who are left-hand dominants. What you're going to do is put your right hand in front of your face. Now notice the tips of my fingers are right at nose level, and it's in that imaginary center line. So right hand, left hand goes in front, exact same hand shape, and then the sign for silent will come out like this. Now notice both my hands move outward and downward at an angle, and the palms stay facing one another, and they end shoulder width apart at shoulder level. So it's not this, it's not that, and it's not this. Your elbows stay in the whole time. They just move down. So what it's going to look like when you start signing is you will have your hands at your side, and right before you start signing, your hands will come up and sign silent. Okay? Let's try that again. Hands at your side. Good. Now the next sign uses the exact same hand shape. Your hands come out for silent and they end here, and then they're going to come up and your palms are going to turn inward so that your palms are facing behind you, really, not facing you at an angle, but facing behind you. And then you're going to move them like this so that they cross in front of one another, and your left hand is going to end up in front of your right hand. So it looks like this. And you don't need the head nod that I just did. That's me. If you were here, I'd be looking at you and I'd be making sure that you're doing the right thing. Since I can't do that, I'm just imagining you are. So again, the two signs together will look like this. Now you'll notice between the signs, from silent to night, there's a movement upwards. That needs to be as fluid as possible. So it's not staccato. It should not look like this. So I don't want it to look like that. I want it to be a very fluid and graceful movement between the signs. Okay? So we have the first two signs that we're using for Silent Night. Now the sign for Holy starts with your left hand at sternum level, palm up. Notice my fingers are together. My thumb is out this time. Like you're going to put something in your hand, basically. Your dominant hand, we're using our right hand for this, is going to make this. It's the letter U in sign language if you're fingerspelling the ABCs. So it's the letter U, except this way it becomes the letter H. So your palm is going to face in towards you, right about just a little below eye level, so the tips of your fingers are probably right at eye level. Your palm is facing you, and this hand is going to move clockwise 1 9/8 time, I think is, or 8 ninths, 9 tenths, 9 tenths, that's what it was. 1 9 tenths. So it'll look like this. So I didn't make a full 2 revolutions, but it's 1, almost 2, and then it's going to come down, and notice as it's moving from here to here, it's opening the same hand shape as my left hand, and it's going to move across. Now what's important here, a couple things are important, but one is that when you move your hand across, that you don't go and hear the sliding of the hand. If you do that, everybody in the audience who can hear will hear however many guys are in the chorus going, and it won't sound very good. It will ruin the moment. So it's important to do So just barely make contact with that non-dominant hand with your left hand so that you can't hear the hands sliding across one another. Now this time, the sign for night that we're going to use starts with your left hand, palm down, fingers together, and your thumb is in. This becomes the horizon. Your right hand is going to represent the movement of the sun under the horizon. So it's going to look like this. So again, the hands are the same. This is one of the easier signs. I mean, several of the signs will have the exact same hand shape on both hands. Those are the easy ones. Signs like holy are a little tougher because you've got different hand shapes and you have movement within the sign from an H hand shape to an open palm hand shape. So those are tougher to remember. But signs like this, where the hands are the same, one less thing to think about. So again, the sign for night is this. And here's what it will look like with holy and night put together. Now you notice again the fluid movement between the signs is, and basically all I did was I signed holy here, and then where this hand ends, I just hold it there, and my left hand moves from palm up to palm down, and it touches the crook of my elbow right here. So it moves from holy to boom, night. So as little movement as possible there will help you. Now the four signs together thus far look like this. Okay? Want to try that again? Let's try that again. I wish you were here so I could see you nodding or something, but I'll make do.